All right.
So Kevin Spacey's gay, right? We all agree on that.
Look, Kevin Spacey said in an interview, because he got...
3 simple words.
He said in an interview that he's not gay, but he said that he's been asked that by people before, but it's been in weird context, so he just dodged the question, didn't answer it because he feels it's not important.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask, why does it matter?
Have you read Leviticus?
See, that's the thing.
A man shall not lie with another man, nor eat shrimp.
The reason that lots of people in Hollywood who are gay don't come out, or people in the entertainment industry or in the public news, people like the newscaster, what's that guy's name on CNN?
Oh yeah, the gay
dude. Yeah, the gay dude. But he just came out recently. Anderson Cooper.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
He came out recently, but everyone that can pick up on those things knew that he was gay.
That's the thing though. Nobody cares if people are gay, but if people are gay and lie about it, that's when people get annoyed.
Yeah, they get annoyed, but no, not nobody cares, because lots of people in the South care.
Yeah. In the South, I'm saying in Hollywood.
Or in the middle of America too. So the thing is, Anderson Cooper is this big, CNN news guy. Lots of people watching him. The potential is, if he comes out as gay...
One might say he did a 360.
360 turns around all the way back to the same, so it would have been a 180. Anyway.
Or 720.
Yeah, but not 360, because that is the exact same.
Maybe he's bi. Maybe he did 90.
720 would be coming back around twice and getting back to the same way. Anyway.
Math is stupid.
So, the risk is, if he came out, he could lose lots of ratings. If he loses lots of ratings, he could lose his job. That doesn't have money. Can't, to lose your livelihood is terrible, so he has to...
But the thing is I think his popularity is, that's...
It was high enough, so it was fine, and that's fine now. But it's terrible that he would have to keep in the closet to try to keep this, but he understands that for his livelihood he needs to do that. So it's a terrible thing. Kevin Spacey, huge box office draw as an actor, really great actor. If it comes out as gay, you would potentially lose all of that.
He hasn't even been doing that much anyway, though, lately.
Not lately. Lately he's doing a lot of producing.
He did Moon, and then he's just been producing,
yeah,
right?
I think he's at a point where now, earlier in his career, it's to try to get work, and he don't come out. And now he could. However, he said in that interview that he's not. Now he could still come back about that. There was one of the things was that he went to a...
Why does everyone think he's gay?
He's Clooney. Yeah, he's Clooney without seeing him with women.
Yeah.
Clooney's never been tied down, but Clooney... always dates different things
every single
day.
Sometimes twice.
They saw Kevin Spacey was publicly with one girl out at the Academy Awards, who he said at the time was his girlfriend. Later came out that was the publicist.
I could see him as asexual, though.
The movie, yes, I can totally see him as that. No,
like Hitler.
I don't know. I could see he could either be asexual, completely possible. He could be bi.
Yeah,
you don't know.
I like to think that he's bi.
That's what I think. That seems more likely. And actually,
he's like one of the guys that you could make out with and it wouldn't be gay.
Yeah, totally. It'd be a little gay, but
not full gay.
Not full gay. Just be bi if you made out with him.
You're going full return.
No, you never do that. Like in The Usual Suspects.
Anyway, I don't know why this even matters, you guys.
So why did I bring it up?
I'm sorry, Tony.
Bigots.
Tony, we're sorry for bringing up someone speculating on someone's sexuality. I know how much that offends you.
So I thought they could have done a better job of hiding it.
In this movie? Hiding that he's gay?
No, hiding that Kevin hiding that Kevin Spacey was the main dude.
Yeah, they could have, and that's the thing.
At the end I was like, it's him.
My problem is I don't know, because I never got to see it without knowing.
I think you would have
he's the main guy. I think I would have too. But I think
there was a short while where I wasn't sure whether it was him or the other guy.
Yeah.
There was a short while.
That's what they're trying to end
in the middle, and then afterwards, no, it's
By the time they've convinced you, by the time they've also convinced you that it's him, they've convinced him that it's the other. He's the interviewer is so convinced that it's this other guy that he's trying to get caught. And I actually, in watching this, I've seen it before, and in that moment, I'm watching that when he's telling him, this guy who you thought was your friend tricked you. This guy's actually Kaiser Soze. He's like, no.
Yeah, that was
no, don't. No, I loved that moment.
No,
I loved it.
I was like, that's so lame.
I absolutely loved it because he's acting into the thing and buying in it, and he's playing his role perfectly.
Was that I couldn't buy that, and I couldn't and the reason why I started to just go, no, it's definitely Kevin Spacey. It's he freaking shot that dude.
Yeah, no, for you. I'm saying for the audience. For the audience, they know.
He shot that dude.
Yeah, the audience knows, but that cop doesn't. And in that moment, when the cop is sure that it's this other guy, and now that so he's
Oh, you're just talking about the moment in the film.
I'm saying the moment in the film. I'm saying Kevin Spacey's like for me this movie is mostly watching Kevin Spacey's acting in that scene.
Right.
And having him play this part and because he's acting within acting. His character is acting in this.
But he's doing a shitty job. Like, if I saw somebody break down and cry like that, I'd be like, what the hell is going on? This
No,
is
because he's completely built it to that point. He said
I don't think he did, though. He didn't
he
build it to the
did.
point where he's going to break
built
down
it
and
that
cry.
this is his friend. Like this guy is the one guy who he said, he told him he's only coming back in here for his love, and he's, if I get killed in this, you gotta do this, and he's like, no. The cop says, because he's seeing this story, he's like, I don't buy your story that he's telling. But the cop is so invested in this story, he's gotten so invested in the story that he's telling that he's like, no, you know what? I don't think that guy was being honest to you. He wasn't, he wasn't doing that. And so the disbelief he's finding in the story is the disbelief that he's not believing that Verbal is lying. He's thinking that he was lied to in the story.
I still didn't like that part.
Okay.
And then I didn't like the way he dropped the mug. Why can't people just let it fall? People, like, open their hand just a little bit. Like, just let it fall.
It fell.
Yeah, but he opened his hand. Just let it, like, slip off.
I don't know. It has to find that. It's cliche, but it didn't. It didn't.
What the fuck are you talking
Also,
about?
when he drops the
When he
mug,
drops the mug.
the guy,
Cop guy.
investigator, who's looking up at the walls and starts to put it together and drops the mug.
Yeah.
I guess he didn't like the way he dropped the mug.
Yeah, when you're holding a mug, like, if it's gonna fall, your hand's just gonna, like, it's just gonna slide off.
It doesn't matter how he dropped the mug, he dropped the mug.
Just wasn't.
But in rewatching the movie, it's fun to see the
In
moments.
that moment, I could imagine going,
Fuck!
No, you wouldn't.
Alright, look,
I've been surprised before.
in watching this film, since I had seen the film before and knowing those
He's
pieces,
so disgusted that I'm upset about that.
like, it's not as bad as giving one star to
one star to There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood,
Yeah,
but
it
still,
isn't as bad.
complaining about a mug.
That
Alright.
will forever be, like, your shame.
The gold
Okay,
standard
so
of
when
the
did you
Hold on.
kind of know?
Hold on.
Yeah.
So,
You're
in
so
watching,
lucky that didn't get released.
in watching the movie again, because this is watching the movie again, when he gives him, he gives Verbal his coffee, he's drinking his coffee, and, like, he's drinking it, and he had told the thing, and, like, he's got the mug lifted in the way so that he can see the underside of the mug, and that's how he begins with the Kobayashi thing, and, like, seeing where he picks up on these things and where his eyes are
that's
looking.
kinda interesting.
Like, it's cool to see his eyes looking in a certain way, and then that's there later on. Like, they built everything there in this, the whole story that's going on is taking place in this one little room, and everything's put there in the place, and they acted it correctly. It's not like they.
Although in the end, I didn't like that though.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah, I thought it was lame.
that's like lame. Like he put these on his wall.
And like Guatemala, like
no.
if you
He did no. He didn't. He's in this other guy's room. He's in the guy who looks like Nixon. Who's the father from
He's in
Clueless.
American Pie room.
Yeah, the guy, the father from Clueless.
Yeah.
He's in his room, and this investigator is going in there. He's like, "Let me just do this. Let's do it in a room." Oh no, he's not going to do it if it's.
But wasn't he in there
recorded.
too though?
He was in there at points, but he was in there in the beginning when he wasn't talking, and it's like this guy's not talking, or he's going on about nonsense or whatever.
But he is going around nonsense. That's the thing.
but not.
Like, his stupid Guatemalan story. Like that was like, what the fuck? Why would you even say that? Like,
Yeah, he's just
stupid.
because he's making up random shit there.
I
But
understand
then
it,
once
but
he
if
gets into the
you're-
story,
No, I
he's
know.
telling the story of what he's partially telling. He's telling the story of what happened. And the stuff about Guatemala and the Barbershop Quartet, that's just like he's not going to talk, but he's just making up stuff and going on things. That's just to show that's showing pieces of that he does make up stories. Not to say it's showing that your narrator is an unreliable narrator in that sense. Because if he's telling about actual stories of his past that have nothing to do with this case, that's one thing. But he's making up these stories about his past because his past is Kaiser Soze. Now, Kaiser Soze is a person who they've been investigating. Giancarlo Esposito, chicken guy from Breaking Bad. Really cool seeing him in this because I didn't know who he was the first time I watched this, and now watching it, you're like, it's that guy.
Yeah.
So he's an investigator from New York, who he's been.
Which was so cliche. His character. Jesus.
Yeah, so it was. This is like these cliche bits are.
Okay, tell me what I need to know, or I'm not going to have to show you my ass.
So he's investigating this, and then here's the word Kaiser Soze coming from the guy, and he's like, oh my god, Kaiser Soze. So on the, in New York, they've been investigating Kaiser Soze, and it's this ghost story. But on the East Coast, they don't know who Kaiser Soze is. He's not a known person there, and that name means nothing to them, at that point. And he's being investigated by West Coast, Los Angeles cops. So when that, it seems to me like, Kaiser Soze, who, is Verbal Kid. Spoiler alert. People watching this haven't seen that. He's this ghost figure that he's created.
Ghostface Killer?
Yeah, and he's created this persona so that he can act without it, and to be the head of this family, and people don't know who he is. So he's gotten over to the West Coast, and he doesn't even think that these guys know who Kaiser Soze is. He's clear, and when that name gets brought up in the story, and he says, we just heard about Kaiser Soze, he's like, the visceral reaction that Kevin Spacey has, as soon as he's like, shit, and then he continues on the story and talks about that, and has to then change his story, but he can't go and change anything he's already said, so he has to then say, okay, so it was at this point.
Great improv.
So he has to change that. It's this guy's trying to. He's already got immunity. He doesn't want to talk. Diplomatic. But the only reason he's talking is he was insulted. And because he's the great mastermind Kaiser Soze, because he is that brilliant and he has thought up all this stuff, he's up for a challenge in this. And he doesn't have to talk. He could just sit there and say nothing, and he could leave. He's got his immunity. He's fine. However, at a certain point, so he doesn't know there's the ticking clock of the sketch coming. If he had known that, wouldn't have wasted that extra 20 minutes because he was in there for 20 minutes after he could have left. But he's in that challenge of you're stupid, and now he has to make that cop look stupid because he's called him stupid. He has to prove that he's smarter than him. And that's really where this movie comes from. Not for the mystery, kind of like we were talking with Reservoir Dogs, is that movie doesn't rely on the mystery of who the cop is. It has you going in there thinking that. Now this one.
But then there's your problem.
Sets it up.
Like, see, this is why you enjoyed the film, was because it was your second watch, and you knew.
Yeah, it may be more interesting watching it the second.
But the first time I watched it, I unfortunately knew it, but still watched it.
It's the same problem.
Like, I want to watch. That's why I wanted you guys to watch this, not knowing that, because I didn't get that viewing, and I wanted to know what it was like watching it that first time. I don't know. I think I might have still liked it. I'm a little dumber than you guys.
You know what's funny? The whole time when they're going and they're like blowing all that shit up, I was just thinking, waiting for the end. Like, he's gonna be limping and then it's gonna even out. The whole time I was just like, when's that gonna happen?
You know what? Also,
when's it gonna happen?
They parodied that in Simpsons and Family Guy and all these things that you've watched. You've seen them parody that before. So that's now. It's been done so many places. Yeah. That's become a cliche. And it's a cliche from this that people have now.
This movie's such a cliche; it's made a cliche.
And that's the thing of it's the same way of using Freudian psychology to analyze plays from Greek culture of Sophocles and Aristotle, analyzing that stuff with Freudian psychology, which was based on the plays of Sophocles. So you can't analyze it with that because you're analyzing it with its own tools. So in the same way of you could watch Casablanca and say all of their lines, every single line is a cliche because they become cliches because of that. And in the same way, saying that foot, you expecting that to happen because it's become a cliche since this point. And now you're going back and watching that. And of course they're going to do that because they've set it up. But in the way that it was done this first time, he's that gimp, and he's the cripple, and they're like the stupid cripple, just and then he's like, I played you.
Just like this day, just like now, like a comedy, like a cartoon comedy sitcom. You see all the. Like,
but the only time I can remember that,
the back of the first
thinking about it, is from the Scary Movie with Dewey at the end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
that's the only time I can think of it.
And that was a parody of this. That was that idea of it, of the stupid guy, and like. I like the brilliance of that character, and it's brought up in another movie.
His character is the best part but the rest of it was just.
It is the best part. It is the best part, and I love Kevin Spacey. This was also at earlier in his career too.
If they could get his character put in a better movie, that'd be awesome.
It would be better. This is a $6 million movie at the time, like not huge budget thing. It's still a studio film. Like it's not an independent film for $6 million. This is a studio film.
Wow.
Where? There's no Kevin Smith there. It was directed by Bryan Singer, who went on to do X-Men. He's doing the new X-Men Days of Future Past. He did Superman Returns, which is why Kevin Spacey was in that one, because he's got the connection to him. And, of course, if you're Bryan Singer and you've done The Usual Suspects and you've worked with Kevin Spacey, and you can get him, you can get him to play Lex Luthor, you're going to do that. And he was my favorite part of that movie. Kevin Spacey's my favorite part of any Kevin Spacey movie. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
one of my favorite actors of all time.
If you're not watching House of Cards, you need to go watch House of Cards.
Oh my god, watch House of Cards, that's so good.
Yeah. Spectacular.
The first 37 minutes.
The first 37 minutes.
You're like, what the fuck? I literally did that.
I did too. I paused it. I walked out of the room.
I know. I was like,
I was like, says he hasn't seen.
Good thing we're watching.
Yeah.
Roman and Frank.
Because we couldn't do House of Cards because we've already seen too much of it to do the first episode. Like we could do a special episode where we talked about the entire 2 seasons.
I haven't seen any of it.
Yeah.
Let's spoil it.
We need to watch it. And we watch this movie. But it's fine. You don't have to watch it. It's only amazing.
I'm going to eventually.
Okay, good.
That's like saying you never have sex.
It's on the list. It's on what you might call...
Yeah, it's on the list. It's on my list on Netflix, which used to be my queue, and now it's list.
Wish I could rename it
because they.
How many days did it take you to watch it?
It's my black list.
It's like 3 or 4 days that it took me because I was watching a few episodes each night.
2 days and then watched the final one on the third day. Because I was too tired.
The final one was 1 day for that one.
Because I want to remember. Yeah.
So back to this.
Oh yeah. Anyway, it was the
first season.
No, there's another movie that I don't want to spoil that movie to talk about. Well, no, let's see. Which movie is that happening? There's a movie that has Christian Bale in it, and now I can't remember which movie it was. Okay, it wasn't that one. So anyway, it wasn't that one. But anyway, there's a character in that they talk about that he's an ancillary character, but he's used as an allegory. He's used as a story, which is essentially a man who lives his entire life one way to conceal the secret that it's another way, and in this sort of way, so that a guy living as a cripple,
Brotherhood of the Wolf.
But a master criminal would be a person who lives
their whole life as the devil. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, lives their whole life as as a really dumb cripple who gets offended at people if they were the type of criminal who'd be like, oh no, it's okay, but makes a big deal about it, and it's a focus of them, and you know them as this cripple who's not that bright. But really, their criminal mastermind is completely physically able, and so when you look at it and you say, they were in this crime scene doing this, you're like, oh no, there's no way he could have done that because of this. You have to live your entire life that way to build that persona. Yeah, you do it at work and be like, oh, I can't do that. I don't know anything about,
don't!
It's like me being, not knowing about technology at work because I don't want them to call on me, it's happened before, because you get called on all the time to do tech stuff.
Yeah.
And so as soon as someone knows that you're able to do computer stuff, then you're always going to get called on. So you have to be when something goes wrong with the computer, be like, I guess we got to call IT about this. I don't know.
Yeah. I heard you press Control Delete a bunch of times.
I don't know. Because as soon as they know.
Try turning it off and on again.
Yeah. No, as soon as that's even too much.
Yeah. Then they'll come to you every time, and you'll be like, did you try turning it on and off again?
The cable in the back has lots of pins.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's like 20 of them.
Yeah. As soon as you know it's a 20-pin connection, then you're like, oh, you know too much. Okay. Whew. This has a lot of actors in it that are the typical, the usual suspects of crime actors.
Dude, I could not stand Stephen Baldwin.
No one can stand Stephen Baldwin.
The shit out of me. The whole time, every face he made, every little scrunch he made.
Oh. No one likes Stephen Baldwin.
The only thing I liked was when he was screaming. When he was screaming at somebody and you could see the saliva coming out. That's the only thing I liked that he did.
Stephen Baldwin. Oh, him.
The worst.
I don't know if you can say the worst Baldwin still. We know Alex.
He was the MacGyver smoker. He was good at that.
We know Alec Baldwin's the best Baldwin, but when you try to say who's the worst Baldwin, that's just I don't know. They're pretty bad. All these other Baldwins.
It's like saying what's the worst Middle Eastern country.
Oh yeah, no, he's done a lot of things. Fred Claus, he was in, which also Kevin Spacey was in as well.
The Fly Boy. Wow, jeez.
Wow.
Batman Beyond.
Celebrity Apprentice is what I know him from too, because I watched that season because it was one with Penn Jillette.
He's a Family Ties.
Mm-hmm. He was also in South Park, No Longer and Uncut, when they killed all the Baldwins.
And some nothing like him.
All the Baldwins are dead. Well, it's not that bad, I guess.
I forget what's his name can speak Spanish too.
Which one?
When he was speaking Spanish in the movie. Him.
I bet Kevin Pollak.
Yeah.
That was great. I love Kevin Pollak, and this is like the biggest movie he's ever been in. But he always does these small parts.
He's
in
great.
things.
He's great.
He's a great actor. I loved him in let's say Kevin Smith's movie.
Oh, Red State.
Red State.
Oh,
and
so
I don't want to say anything more about it, but I loved. And
Is
he
that
actually
on?
sat behind me. Yeah, it's on Instant Watch, so we can pick it. We should pick that sometime.
Oh shit! I probably
Like it probably needs to be talked about, so we should do that one. But he sat behind me while I watched Red State at Tarantino's
that's awesome.
theater. So we watched because that was the one he did the 1 week run at the
right
Beverly.
behind you or like.
Like 3 rows, and I didn't know it the entire time until it gets to the Q&A, and like he's not in the Q&A, but he's like, and you know, Kevin Pollak, who's actually here, and like his little wave, and he's behind me.
He's all.
I'm like, I was watching that thing with him behind me the whole time. It was awesome. He's also just a nice guy. That's the thing. Like, just a really cool guy. But
So is Stephen Baldwin.
maybe I don't know.
He looks like the biggest douchebag in the world.
Pete Postlethwaite.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
He was Kobayashi. And
he's in a lot of.
he's in a lot of stuff. Again, the usual suspect. He was in Jurassic Park: The Lost
But what
World.
was up with his accent? It was like an Indian accent. Indian.
It reminded me a lot of this one guy from this DM thing or this Dungeons and Dragons thing we're doing. That you can find on Chrono D&D podcast if you look that up. It sounded a lot like a certain guy from there, which was funny because it made me think that you had seen the movie. Because anyway, but now I'm gonna keep thinking of Kobayashi, which is also from Star Trek, Kobayashi Maru.
So you're just gonna call that character Kobayashi?
Yeah, probably.
All right,
Forget it. Okay. Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff. I love that.
Dragonheart.
I love that in the end, like because he's played as
so good.
he's played as the attorney, but he's made up the name Kobayashi. But that character is still there. Like they had him there because he's still Kaiser says his
He
assistant.
just
Like
wants to show him what an idiot he is.
yeah, no, but he's not seeing his mental image. Like he's not using the same name. He's using a fake name. But
Animal Farm.
Animal Farm. Was it the animated?
1999.
Was that the animated one? I can't remember what year the animated.
Benjamin.
I think that's the real.
No, this is the weird live action one.
I like that one.
I don't know if I've seen that one. I love the animated one, which was really good.
Oh, he was a farmer, I think.
Makes sense.
Probably he looks like a farmer.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's racist.
The
Not all
Town,
white
Inception.
people look like.
He's
He's in everything.
yeah.
And I bet he's
Killing Bono.
killing Bono. That
Yeah, he
sounds
killed
like-
Bono. So this movie won Kevin Spacey Best Supporting Actor, the Academy Award.
Supporting?
Oh,
Yeah, because he's just because that's the part of it is that this guy is your main guy in it.
I didn't even think of him as a man.
Are you
guy.
kidding?
Yeah. Who had the most fucking
I know.
lines?
No, supporting actor has to do with the amount of lines you have in the stage time. I don't think there was a lead actor in this movie in Academy terms.
Oh, they were like also
Of how much stage time that you have, I think it was all supporting. In that. I don't know because there's a certain like you have to have a certain percentage of screen time to be a lead actor, and then less than that is supporting. And this is such an ensemble cast. But also he's credited in the film in the middle. He's not credited last, and he's definitely not credited first. Kevin Spacey is him. And he's done other roles like this that I don't want to spoil for other people that haven't seen them.
Stephen Baldwin.
Well, that's on this list at least on Wikipedia. I can't remember in the cast list where he was because this lists him last on here, but there was other names after him.
Benicio del Toro.
Mm-hmm. And it also let's see, won the Academy Award for Best Writing Original Screenplay. And if you just look at the screenplay, but not the acting of it or how it was done,
the screenplay, like, oh wow, that was crazy.
because it's when you put that much thought into crafting it,
So it won the awards for the best parts of the film.
Exactly. Like that's
Kevin Spacey in the writing.
yeah, and that's what I like this film for. And it doesn't get the 4 stars because of the awesome action and this thing. Like it gets the 4 stars for me from Kevin Spacey in the writing.
So I give it
88%.
Yeah.
It's where I got a 3 from me.
And that's why it doesn't get the 5
I couldn't
for me.
excuse
Like,
the
I
other-
can't give the 5 for that, but I still... The problem is, again, this is what I was talking about with another film, where this is a 3-star film,
Yeah.
and it gets that extra star that would be the 5-star extra star. Because if it's a 4-star film is a great film that doesn't have that something extra,
Oh.
So this is a 3-star film that has that something extra that I really love.
It was just poorly executed.
Poorly executed. And if this film were executed perfectly, it could have been a 5-star film for me.
100 Thrills? Really?
Yeah.
This?
Yeah, because in thrillers, that means best thriller movies. And this is
but Heroes and Villains?
Yes.
48 for him?
Yeah, for number 48 on villain.
Oh no, I don't
Yes.
agree with that.
Kaiser Soze. Yeah.
The greatest trick. Everybody says that in the world. That's so fucking old.
Don't make me talk about Casablanca again. Wait, have you seen Casablanca?
I guarantee.
Have you seen Casablanca?
Yes.
Okay. When you watch that movie, every damn line is a cliche.
No, I know.
And yet that one is the best written screenplay. How could that be?
This was not the first time that was said. That's my point.
Maybe not in those exact words.
Yes,
maybe the concept could have been told. I don't know. That whenever that is quoted, unknowingly, it is quoted from this movie.
When was this made?
1996, 1995.
They said that at Whittier Christian School the whole fucking way through, like 3rd grade, 4th grade. They taught us that shit.
When were you in 3rd and 4th grade?
Late 80s.
You're old.
Yeah, I know I'm old. I'm 33. That's my point. That's bullshit. I call bullshit on that one.
Okay, find me some older sources of that. Like, not that was said to you by people. I don't find, like, whatever.
I'm just saying that's bullshit.
I love it.
100 movie quotes? Oh, there's so many better.
I loved a lot of the stuff with the devil in here that Verbal says in it. Like, the investigator says that this guy's that Verbal's protected by the devil himself. And then, the guy saying he looked at the devil. Using him as the devil, but unknowingly, the things that he says to him.
I noted that too.
Oh yeah, the shot of the Twin Towers.
Yeah. I was like,
every time I see that in the movie, you're like, oh.
Buckle 5. Freedom comes from Buckle 5.
I didn't write too many things. Oh, the setup of the corrupt cops. I love that scene. That was a scene that I really liked.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, the whole way that they did it.
The corrupt cops with the vans and
that part was cool.
I loved it. And I forgot to mention that in my favorite scene. Because. And the way that they set the car on fire and then left them. And
that's when I got excited. I was like, this is maybe awesome.
It puts them in that brilliant predicament of they're going to, like, the paramedics and stuff are going to come in on this, and the rest of the police force is going to know about what's going on here, and they have to explain their way out of this as, who robbed you and set your car on fire? Well, you see, like, what did they take? Because they took the stuff from the criminal in the back, and they took the money that the criminal had paid them for this service. And so to explain any of it, they have to explain that they were corrupt cops. Yeah. So they've completely put them in that situation. And I love that catch-22 setup where you put them in that corner of, like, explain your way out of this one, jerk.
That was my second favorite part.
Brilliant. And the thought that comes at the end where he says, there's no way that you, being your stupid self, could have come up with that idea. This was the other guy who came up with that, and he's Kaiser Soze. Oh, yeah, you must be. Oh, that's right. It's true. He did come up with it. It wasn't me. I'm not that smart. I came up with it. He knows he came up with it.
I know.
But he's saying that because he's been playing this guy the whole time, and then the guy's
a fucking idiot. Then.
And I know, and he's bought into it. But he is an idiot. But he said he was smarter. He said he was smarter than Kaiser Soze, not knowing.
But okay, a real character being him. He would not give a shit, though.
He was so proud of himself for being I don't care about real characters. This isn't this story. This is a movie.
But a real
fake.
character that is fake. Genius does not care. He would just walk off and play it safe.
It's Moriarty. This is Moriarty in this playing with Sherlock, and he's creating this crazy stuff. Which also you should watch Sherlock.
I know. I've watched it, and this is to me it's different though.
But it's the same. It's the idea of this mastermind, and
I still haven't finished that either.
I have one more episode to watch.
Good stuff.
I'm so excited. It's not on Netflix, not the 3rd season, that's not on Netflix, but I have one more episode to watch of that, which is on the PBS app or PBS.com. You can watch it, because it's on PBS.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I love the stuff. So I don't care about real world. This isn't real world. This is a movie. Movies are fake. You can have fun with them, and you're having fun with this, and it's that literary villain. And that's why he's on the list of greatest villains. It's that literary villain. It's the villain like Moriarty, where he's concocting these stories and playing these people. And first he's playing people in real life, and then he's playing this guy here. And the fact that they're calling him the devil, and you have the devil in front of you, and he says, like, wouldn't it be horrible if you had the devil that close to you, and, like, what if you shoot him in minutes? But, like, it it would be horrible if this guy was that close to you and you didn't catch
See,
him.
I can see why you'd enjoy this film on this watch. Just because, like, I can see watching it a second time and just enjoying it a lot more.
Then watch it again.
No.
That's fine.
Because I gotta watch Robot and Frank.
Yeah, so I'm giving you the second watch. You're giving me the first watch that I didn't get, and I'll give you the second watch experience of dissecting
the first
this
watch
film.
is...
Yeah, fine. The first watch isn't good, but dissecting this movie, it's kind of like me dissecting Rocky Horror, having seen it so many times. I don't care. Like, lots of people hate it, but you dissect like the films that it was inspired by and that went on, and then it did that.
I mean, there are cool things in the movie, but...
And so I'm saying this one, like, once you dissect it, that's fine. You can hate it. But I like this one. I wouldn't give Rocky Horror 4 stars, but saying. You can think about these movies. They put more thought in the movie than you might think that they put in the first time watching it. And that's the thing with this one. So I really liked it. Very excited.
Well, I don't doubt the amount of hours that went into it.
No, in this one, but in Run. The other one.
Oh,
Some
Rocky
films.
Horror.
Yeah.
No.
There's sometimes.
Monkeys, typewriters, bath salts. That's all they did.
Speaking of monkeys on typewriters, let's get back to Twitch Plays Pokemon. Anything else you wanted to say about this brilliant movie?
Kevin Spacey's gay.
I don't think there is, really.
Okay.
I mean... Yeah.
I mean, Bryan Singer's made some bad films, and he's not, like, the best director, but usually interesting to watch movies. I can't wait for Days of Future Past, but have it in mind that he made this movie and however you felt about this movie.
But it's such a good story, though.
I know.
It has to be.
I did. I just... But the thing is, there's some of my friends who haven't seen the other X-Men movies, and you really have to have seen all of them to go into this one.
Or if you read comics and watch the cartoons.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you can do that, but I'm saying that movie builds off of that series and the old, like, the new one. Like, it builds up all those movies, and it's going to be brilliant. And there's a whole thing you can find out about all this stuff. He did Mockingbird Lane.
He did Mockingbird Lane?
He directed it, yeah.
No.
He directed some episodes of House. Like, you're looking up the TV show stuff that he's done there. He did a segment in...
Ooh, Trick or Treat!
Yeah, that was producer, I believe. Yeah, he produced that one. Did not direct it. So look at just the director ones. So this was his first big...
At Pupil was good.
Yeah, this was his first big film that he did. At Pupil was next after this. Then, he did X-Men as the next directing one. X2, Superman Returns. Then Valkyrie. And Jack the Giant Slayer, which I saw. He's great with big visuals now. Like, after having done the X-Men movie, he's good with, like, doing huge, sprawling, big action things. And lots of people were upset when he left the X-Men series to go to work on Superman, and then...
Wonder why he picked up Kevin Spacey.
That's what I said.
In X-Men?
That's what he talks about. No, did we agree that Kevin Spacey was an X-Men? I love that.
He'd be Cyclops.
What?
He'd be Jubilee.
Sure.
Hey boys, fireworks.
I would have think Mystique, but...
That would be pretty funny.
Actually, you could probably pull up Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. It's your review of the movie, because it's dead even. Dead even on this. I will accept that from both of you, though. I completely accept your ratings for it, because this is definitely one that I like more than
most people.
You guys would. No, I wouldn't say I like it more than most people, because clearly 88% on Rotten Tomatoes and on all of the AFI 100 lists. I think this one's way overhyped.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
So that's why I think I do not like it more than most people. I think I like it as much as the people who really like this movie.
Okay.
But I think that people who haven't seen this movie before, like, they're going to come into it thinking it's cliche, like some people do. But don't...
Or just take it forever.
Yeah. So I'm going to have... I completely agree that it drags. But I'm going to say that the predictability of this comes from the fact that it's...
Cliche.
It's become cliche.
Which, yeah.
And the takeaway message I'm going to leave with this whole thing is, when you watch an old movie, don't confuse the classicness that it is with cliche.
Don't say this is like Casablanca, dude. No,
I'm saying don't confuse something with, like, don't confuse plagiarism and, quoting with the original source material.
I don't think this is original source. That's all I'm saying.
For certain things, it is. Okay. Thank you for watching. Join us next week for Robot and Frank. which we have no idea.
Robot Inferno!
Although not Robot Inferno.
Oh. Robot and Frank and Beans.